blessed to be Tim's evaluator this evening. Now this is Tim's fourth speech, and what he has personally asked me to look out for is his time, because he has an awareness that he tends to go over. But officially, Project 4 is about how to say it, and the objectives that me and you are looking for are to select the right words and sentence structure to communicate your ideas clearly, accurately and vividly. Use rhetorical devices to enhance and emphasise ideas. Now, Tim's been our grammarian and he's really up with rhetorical devices. He's much better at those than I am. Eliminate jargon and unnecessary words. Use correct grammar. So knowing Tim, I know that actually he's not going to disappoint us in that choosing the right grammar and the right jargon. It'll be interesting to see his structure and the ideas of the speech. So for his speech entitled Audience Awareness, which is between 5 and 7 minutes, please welcome Tim.
You'll notice that I'm doing speech 4 in my unit, and the other two speeches also have been speech 4 in theirs. I'm going to quote a lot of numbers at you. About 4 years ago, I did a Open University Science Foundation course to brush up on my O and A levels that I did in 1960, intending to go on into a maths and physics degree. Early on in this one of these modules I did 2 years ago, I had to answer a question demonstrating the succinctness and accuracy of describing a problem. And this was part of my first or second appraisal, which we did every fortnight. The problem was a farmer with some fencing, and he didn't know whether to lay it out in a circle or a square in order to enclose more land. One's more than the other. It went on to say she has bought 200 metres of fencing. And that's the only information we had about this person. So in going into describing what to do, my audience that I was going to appreciate was a lady. That's all I knew. In my view, a fatuous knot at the gender police of the university bureaucracy. However, I decided to play along with this, and my answer was sent to my tutor was in the form of a conversation with an elderly lady with a nice elderly name called Agatha, 75 years plus, and with no maths whatsoever. She left school at 14 and put up into the lot. Starting then with her as my audience now, sitting in her kitchen, farmhouse kitchen, I asked her if she'd approached the National Farmers Union, the NFU. Oh yes, she said. But all they talked about was pies, pies, pies. And things called square metres. Metres are lengths. They can't be squares. I'm just confused. So I said to her, let's take one thing at a time. Let's take the square. It's 200 metres of fencing. That's 220 yards. Or 10 chains, the chain being 22 yards. So in making a square, we have 10 chains of fencing, 5 on each side. 5 is 2.5 chains. To get the area, you multiply one side by the other side. 2.5 times 2.5 is 6 1/4. And the units you produce doing that are firkins, a firkin being 1/10 of an acre. So the square encloses 62% of an acre. And I'm coming out of that presentation Agatha, because I haven't got the time here to do the 5 minutes proving that A equals pi r squared, which is the formula you need to get the area of a circle. When I come back in again, it will be when I've explained to Agatha what pi is, which is pi, as we all know, is roughly 3. Think if you can use estimating the volume of a cake, for instance, and doing bakery. But most people use 22/7, which is perfectly accurate enough. If you really want accuracy, give my grandson a call. He's managed to memorize pi to 60 decimal places, and he'll be delighted to tell you what they are. But I shall also explain to you that to get the radius, you find out how many diameters are in the circumference of the circle, which is 220 yards, and you divide that by 44/7, getting 70 yards as the diameter, and therefore 35 yards as the radius, or 35/22 chains. To get the formula A equals pi r squared, there's a very simple way of doing this, but it takes a few minutes to explain. It uses the Excel spreadsheet and uses that to create pie charts with more and more slices. And in a simple bit of geometry, you can show that the area of a circle is pi r squared. So coming back in now, leaving addressing you, coming back into Agatha as my audience, she's got the hang that the area of a circle is pi times the radius, 35/22 chains, times that again. Simplifying that, it's 5 times 35/22, which is 7.955 firkins. Say 8. So the circle is 80% of an acre, and a square 62.5%. So the circle wins. At this point, Agatha leaps up, dashes over the phone, telephones the nephew, speaks to her friend Henry there, and says, "It's all been explained to me. It's all quite simple here. The circle wins, and you get 27% more land in the circle than in the square." So it's clear what we should do. We should redraw all the farms in Leicestershire as circles, and then we get 27% more land, 27% more subsidy from Brussels. It's a no-brainer. At this point, I went out the back door and drove home. I sent that description into the tutor, and I got a very poor mark. Why do you think that was? Well, I know that they get paid very poorly, and they can only answer short questions, only mark short questions in 10 or 15 seconds. And I've written 2 or 3 pages. So obviously, I wasn't very much aware of my audience. In fact, I've been hoisted by my own petard. Thank you.